All right, guys, we're going to take a minute just to review kind of the pelvic tilt, the basic pelvic tilt crunch and pelvic tilt series. Key part to this is really getting used to knowing how to brace your back and your abdominals so that when you start doing strength exercises and different things, you know how to get your spine in the right position, but most importantly, you know how to protect your back by bracing your abdominals. Now, laying here, Kyle's got a small little gap on his back. And when he brings his abdominals tight and his rectus abdominis squeezes nice and tight, his back flattens. Then that pelvis comes up, and now he squeezes and it flattens. So this is the pelvic tilt. What you're practicing and working on doing here, folks, is feeling that motion. Tight and arch. Tight and arch. We start off 10 to 15, just getting that back moving. Then from the basic pelvic tilt, we're going to go into a pelvic tilt with a squeeze. We're using the little foam roller here. You can use a yoga block or pillow, something that's going to allow your knees to be about 6 inches apart. Now, as you flatten that back, we're going to give a little squeeze. Back flat, squeeze. Again, 10 to 15 reps in and out, focusing on feeling and working that pelvis and using that rectus abdominis to tighten and short, okay? Then finally, the third variation on this is the pelvic tilt from the butterfly position. So now the bottoms of our feet are together. We're going to do that same pelvic tilt. We're going to bring it down, tightening the back. And as we squeeze, we're going to actually bring our knees down. Now your back is not going to go as flat during this variation as it did in the others. And the biggest reason is the role that the hip flexors play. And we're actually doing a nice little active stretch here of those. But it's a great way to warm those up because they're a big player in the muscles that move our hips. So again, 10 to 15 from the butterfly position. So that's just the basic pelvic tilt series. Now the pelvic tilt crunch is building off of that. So all we're going to do with the pelvic tilt crunch is we come back and now we make that arch, we flatten the arch, squeeze the abdominals, and now we lift straight up. We're not rolling forward so much like a regular crunch. Lift those shoulders up, head up, and when you do that, you're gonna really feel that back going into the ground. So then you come back down, let that arch happen, squeeze and come up. The goal of this crunch is not how quickly you can give yourself whiplash by coming up and down. It's how tight you can really cement that lower back into the ground by using those abdominals to tilt that pelvis back. And again, with this series, we'll do 10 to 15 normal, then we'll come, and now as we go up, we insert the foam and come up nice and tall, and then back down. That's it. Nice and strong and stable. And that's really going to help get those abdominals going. And then last but not least in this series, as with the other one, we can go to the butterfly. And again, same things apply. Arch, as we flatten, shoulder blades come up, legs are coming down. 10 to 15 of each of those, folks, and you're really going to start feeling a couple things. That lower back loosening up a little bit, getting a little bit more mobility as well as stability doing that, and those abs tightening up, and you'll know how to brace your abs correctly for future exercises.